Hello and welcome to Rathod's IAS. So in this series, we are going to analyze our previous questions. So this is the second video in this series. So in this video, we are going to see art and culture questions of 2014. So in last video, we discussed questions from this art and culture area, and there we discussed 10 questions. But this year, in this 2014, so there were 11 questions from this art and culture. And now let us try to analyze each and every statement and each and every option which are given. So if you analyze these questions, so you will be getting new points. So that points you can add to your notes. And also that will be helpful for increasing of your conceptual clarity, and you can understand exactly which are the areas which are focused by UPSC, and you can identify some favorite areas of UPSC where the questions are repeating. So the same question might not repeat, but the question from that so and so area will be repeat. So I will be saying that which are the favorite areas of UPSC, and that I found from this 2014 art and culture questions at the last. So please watch this video full, so that in between if there is any chance of sharing the tips, I will be sharing the tips also. So now let us try to see the first question. So this question, it is about Panchayatan. So it is a very simple question, and UPSC wants to know whether you know what is this word exactly means. So one tip I will share you here is, so if you take your 11th class NCERT of this art and culture, that is fine arts NCERT book, so at last of that book you will be having 3 pages with glossary. So here from that glossary you can get a question from your prelims point of view. So please ensure that you go through this glossary for sure. After completing the reading of your NCERT and as well as Nitin Singhania, yes, go to this glossary, then you will be getting some meanings of so and so word. So this is one example, okay. Yes, you can also get question from the glossary. So question here is, with reference to the culture history of India, the term Panchayatan refers to. So this question is about just whether you know about what is this Panchayatan or not. So first option here is an assembly of village elders. Option B is a religious sect. Option C is a style of temple construction, and option D is an administrative functionary. Okay, so these are the 4 options which are given. So I will be giving you 30 seconds of time. So please let me know the answer for this question, whether you know or not. So correct option for this question is a style of temple construction. So actually this temple architecture is one of the most important topic from your art and culture, from both your mains and prelims. So in this temple architecture, we will be studying about Nagara style of temple architecture, Dravidian style of temple architecture, and Vesara style of temple architecture. And this word Panchayatan means it is a style of temple construction. So here this Panchayatan, this word which is mainly derived from the Sanskrit, okay, and Panch means nothing but 5, Yatan, okay, or Yatan means nothing but containing. So in this Panchayatan style of temple architecture, we can see the main shrine or the main deity will be present at the center, and we have 4 subsidiary shrines. They are present in the 4 directions. So this style of temple architecture is called as Panchayatan temple style of this temple architecture. So let me also give you some examples of this Panchayatan type of temple architecture. For example, we have Lakshman temple, we have Lingaraj temple, Kendriya Mahadev temple, we have Dasavatara temple. Okay, so these are some examples of this Panchayatan style of temple architecture. So this is about this question. So here we understand, yes, basic terminology is also important. From there also we can expect question from UPSC. And next question. So next question, it is also very easy question, and even in our first lecture or first video we discussed about the importance of this philosophy, and again question repeated from this philosophy. So this philosophy is also very important topic and also one favorite area of UPSC from this art and culture. So question here is also very simple and it is a very basic question. Even though you didn't read the standard books also, you can easily know the answer for this question. So question is, which one of the following pairs does not form part of the six systems of Indian philosophy? Actually, we have 6 systems of Indian philosophy. First one is Sankhya Philosophy. So regarding this Sankhya Philosophy, there was question 2013 that we already discussed in our last lecture. So if you have not watched last lecture, so please try to watch that lecture. So that is also very useful to cover how questions are coming from this art and culture and also analysis of that so and so questions. So if we are talking about 6 systems of Indian philosophy, yes, what are they? So first one here is Sankhya Philosophy, second one is Yoga, and third one is Nyaya, fourth one is Vaisheshika, fifth one is Purva Mimamsa, and last one is Vedanta. So now let us see the options and let us find out the correct option. So first option is Mimamsa and Vedanta, and second one is Lokayata, Kapilaka, and next one is Nyaya, Vaisheshika, and last option is Sankhya and Yoga. So first one is Sankhya by Kapila, next one is Yoga by Patanjali, and third one is by Nyaya by Gautam Muni, and next one is Vaisheshika by Kanada, and next one is Mimamsa, that is Purva Mimamsa by Jaimini, and we have Vedanta. So which of this option is not there in this 6 systems of philosophy? That is Lokayata and Kapilaka. Okay, so correct option here is option B. Option B is the correct answer. So it is not the part of 6 systems of Indian philosophy. So here you have to know about importance of this philosophy and who came up with this philosophy. Okay, so here the second one here is we have to also go through these philosophies thoroughly. And next one is question 3. So question 3, it is about Satyameva Jayate. So this is also a direct question. So the national motto of India, Satyameva Jayate, inscribed below the emblem of India, is taken from. Here UPSC is testing that in this national emblem. So have you noticed what are the things which are present or not? So it is a very simple question and UPSC is testing your observational skills here. So option 1 here is Kathopanishad, next one is Chandyode Upanishad, and C is Aitreya Upanishad, and last one is Mundaka Upanishad. So these are the 4 Upanishads which are given as options here. So where we can see this Satyameva Jayate. So actually this Satyameva Jayate, the motto here is true alone triumphs. Okay, true alone triumphs. So this national motto of India, that is Satyameva Jayate, which is inscribed below our emblem of India, which is present in this Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, Mundaka Upanishad. So if you are talking about this Kathopanishad, you have to know some points, because in next year there might be question regarding this Kathopanishad, or there might be question from this Chandyode Upanishad. So here whenever you are seeing options, you have to analyze options. At least you have to make 2 to 3 lines of notes from that so and so statements, because they might be the questions in the next year. So if we're talking about this Kathopanishad, so why it is important? So if we're talking about this Kathopanishad, it was translated by Max Muller. So Max Muller translated this Kathopanishad in year 1879. And actually this Upanishad, Kathopanishad, which mainly based on the story or the central theme of this Kathopanishad is based on immortality. So actually there was one story which narrated in this Kathopanishad. So it was a story of one famous personality, that is Nichiketa. So Nichiketa, he was the son of one sage, and when he encountered this god of death Yama, so here this centrality of this Kathopanishad, it is immortality. So it was translated by Max Muller in year 1879. So these are some important things that you have to know. And next one is Chandyode Upanishad. So what are some highlights of this Chandyode Upanishad? So it belongs to this Tatriya school of Yajurveda. Okay, so this Chandyode Upanishad is Tatriya school of this Yajurveda, and it mainly talks about the degrees of happiness. It talks about degrees of happiness. It talks about degrees of happiness. And if we are talking about Aitreya Upanishad, so this Aitreya Upanishad, which mainly contains 4 Mahakavyas, which talks about consciousness of Brahman. Okay, so these are the highlights of this Kathopanishad, Chandyode Upanishad, and as well as Aitreya Upanishad. And Satyameva Jayate, which is taken from this Mundaka Upanishad. So this is about this question. And now let us see next question, that is question number 4. And this question, it is about dance. So this dance forms is also very important, and in the 2013 also there was one question regarding this dance forms. So again the point to be noted here is dances, classical dances. And not only this dance, actually there was also one tribal dance or folk dance also seen in this 2014 paper itself. So there were 2 questions from these dances. So here this question is about Satriya dance. So now let us read out the statements. With reference to the famous Satriya dance, consider the following statements. So Satriya is a combination of music, dance and drama, and it is a centuries old living tradition of Vaishnavites of Assam. Next one is, it is based on classical ragas and talas of devotional songs composed by Tulsidas, Kabir and Mirabai. So actually here Satriya, it is one of our 8 classical dances in India, and it is mainly from the state of Assam. Actually I can say this Satriya, it is one of the centuries old living tradition of Vaishnavites of Assam. Okay, so here this Satriya came into existence from the 15th century in this Assam, and actually it is mainly seen in this Vaishnavites monasteries called as Satras. So because of this the name got for this classical dance as Satriya. So actually this Satriya dance, which is based on the classical ragas, talas of not Tulsidas, Kabir and Mirabai, but they are of Shankaracharya. Okay, so this third statement is incorrect, but first and second statements are correct. So now let us see the options. So option 1 is 1 only, option 2 is 1 and 2 only, and option C is 2 and 3 only, and option 4 is 1, 2 and 3. So as I said, this third statement is incorrect. We can eliminate this third statement, okay, so that we can eliminate this option C and option D. And as you know, it is one of the centuries old living tradition of Vaishnavites of Assam. Yes, this statement is correct and first statement is correct. So correct option here is option B, 1 and 2 only. So this is the explanation part of the Satriya dance. So please open your Art and Culture Nitin Singhania and complete this classical dances chapter. So that will be very useful for your mains and as well as your prelims. So now let us try to see next question. It is question number 5. So this question is also very simple question, and especially students from the rural areas, they can guess the correct option for this question for sure. So I am not much confident regarding this students from the city areas, but from the rural areas, especially from the agriculture area or agriculture families, yes, they can answer this question for sure correct. So I have 100% confident. So here the question is regarding Chaitra. So Chaitra, one of national calendar based on Saka era, corresponds to which one of the following dates of Georgian calendar in a normal year of 365 days. So actually Indian national calendar that we are following now, we adopted in year 1957, that is Saka Samvat. So Saka Samvat, it is a Saka era calendar that we adopted as Indian national calendar, and this calendar which contains 365 days and 12 months. So the first month of this Saka era that starts with this Chaitra. Okay, so you know that we are celebrating this festival Ugadi, right? So this Ugadi will be the starting of our new year. So in the same way here we celebrate this Ugadi in this month of Chaitra. So the first option here is 22nd March or 21st March, and next one is 15th May or 16th May, and third option is 31st March or 30th March, and option D is 21st April or 20th April. So the correct option here is 22nd March or 21st March. Option A is the correct answer. So if you want to give me some explanation regarding this Chaitra, Okay, I think you might know about Shravan Mas, you might be know about Kartika Mas, Ashad Mas, Pugga, like that. So there are 12 months, okay, and they will be having 365 days. And this national calendar of India, that is Saka calendar, so Saka era, which mainly marked the beginning of this Saka Samvat, and it is one of the historic Hindu calendar, and we adapted this Saka era calendar as our Indian national calendar in year 1957. Okay, so correct option here is option A, 22nd March or 21st March, based on whether it is a leap year or not. And next question is question number 6. So the question which appear on the screen. So this question, it is about images of Buddha. So as I said, Buddhism, it is one of the important topic, and last year, that is in 2013, there were 2 questions which appeared regarding this Buddhism, and 2014 also again 1 question. And the point to be noted here is, yes, Buddhism is one of the favorite topic of UPSC. So question here is, with reference to Indian history of art and culture, consider the following pairs famous work of sculpture site. So first statement here is, the grand image of Buddha's Mahaparinirvana with numerous celestial musicians, they are present in Ajanta or not. Second one is, a huge image of Varaha avatar, that is boar incarnation of Vishnu as he rescues goddess Earth, which is located in Mount Abu. Next one is Arjuna penance or descent of Ganga, sculpted on the surface of huge boulders in Mallapuram or Mahabalipuram. So here you have to identify the correct pairs. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3 pairs are given, and here you have to identify whether these are correct or not. So one tip here is, here UPSC, it is testing you that whether you know about this Mount Abu. So what are the temples which are present in this Mount Abu? They are mainly based on this Vishnu or not. So actually the temples which are present in this Mount Abu, so we can see Jain Dvilvara temples there, okay, but not this Hindu temples or Buddhist temples there. So if you know this fact, you can easily eliminate this second statement. So actually a huge image of this Varaha avatar, boar incarnation of Vishnu, which is seen in the Vidisha, okay, Vidisha, that too located in this MP, but not in this Mount Abu. So you can eliminate this second statement. And the first statement is, a grand image of Buddha's Mahaparinirvana with numerous celestial musicians, they are present in this Ajanta. Yes, if you go through your fine arts NCERT, yes, this point which is given there in your 11th class NCERT. And next one is Arjuna penance or descent of Ganga, which is present in this Mahabalipuram or Mamallapuram. So this point is also clearly mentioned in your 11th class fine arts book. Okay, so correct option here is, now let us try to see the options. So first option is 1 and 2 only. So this second statement is incorrect, and the second option is 3 only, and third option is 1 and 3, and last option is 1, 2 and 3. So correct option here is 1 and 3 only, that is option C is correct answer. Okay. So now let us move on to next question, that is our question number 7. So before that, I will be showing you this Varaha image. So this Varaha image which is present in this Udaygiri caves in Vidisha MP. So this is that image. I hope you can see the image on the screen. So this is that Varaha incarnation of Vishnu, okay, boar incarnation of Vishnu image. And now let us try to see next question, that is question number 7. So this question is also very simple question. UPSC is testing that whether you know about this Kalari Payyattu or not. So question you can see on the screen, and the question is, with reference to India's culture and tradition, what is this Kalari Payyattu? So with reference to India's culture and tradition, what is this Kalari Payyattu? So if you have gone through this martial arts chapter in your Nitin Singhania, then you can easily guess the answer for this question. So option A is, it is an ancient Bhakti cult of Shaivism, still prevalent in some part of South India. So actually this ancient Bhakti cult of Shaivism, especially seen in some areas of Karnataka, that is Lingayatism or Lingayats. It is not regarding this Kalari Payyattu. And second option is, it is an ancient style bronze and brass work still found in southern part of Coromandel area. So in this Coromandel area, we can see this ancient style of bronze, for example, lost wax technique, etc., and even brass work. For example, you can see different images of Nataraj. They were made by this ancient style of bronze and brass work. Okay, it is not regarding this Kalaripayattu. And next option here is, it is an ancient form of dance, drama and living tradition in the northern part of Malabar. So it is not at all a dance form. And last option is, it is an ancient martial art and a living tradition in some parts of South India. Yes, actually it is a martial art which is mainly seen in state of Kerala. Okay, and there were number of accounts regarding this Kalaripayattu which is seen. And next question is question number 8. So before that, I will be showing you the image of this Kalaripayattu. So this Kalaripayattu we can also see sometimes in the news. Okay, so because of this it will be important. And next question is question number 8. So this question is very important and you can expect the questions in this format also in your GS from your prelims point of view. So here the question is, consider the following pairs. So first one is Garba, that state is given, that is Gujarat. Second one is Mohiniyattam, that is Odisha. Next one is Yakshagana, that is Karnataka. So which of the pairs given above is or correctly matched? So here you have to see what is that word, whether it is a dance or whether it is a martial art or whether it is a theatre like that, and you have to see from which state. So here there are the two tasks. First one is you have to remember the state and you have to identify whether it is a dance, whether it is a theatre or whether it is any martial art, etc. So here you have, your brain need to be work on the two ways. So first one is Garba. So this Garba is seen recently also in news because here government want to introduce this Garba tax. So as in this Garba, it is a dance, okay, which is from Gujarat itself. And next one is Mohiniyattam. So Mohiniyattam, it is one of the official or we can say like classical dance. As I said that there are 8 classical dance. For example, Bharatanatyam. For example, we have Mohiniyattam, we have Satriya, we discussed just now, and we have Kathak, Kathakali, correct? And here you have to know about whether this Mohiniyattam from this Odisha or not. And next one is Yakshagana. So Yakshagana, it is one of the Indian theatre and you have to see whether this Yakshagana from this state of Karnataka or not. So here, yes, Garba, it is from Gujarat. So this Garba, I can say it is like a folk dance which is mainly done during this Navratri festival. Okay, during this Navratri festival, yes, we can see this dance of Garba. Okay, so it is done with an excellent movements will be there, and here women, they will be wearing gowns. Okay, and here if you are talking about Mohiniyattam, so it is one of the classical dance of India and it is not from Odisha, it is from Kerala. And if it is Yakshagana, Yakshagana, it is one of Indian theatre and this is from state of Karnataka, and even we can see in the some areas of Tamil Nadu also, yes, we can see this theatre, that is Yakshagana. So now let us try to see the options. So option 1 is 1 only, and option B is 2 and 3 only, and option 3 is 1 and 3 only, and last option is 1, 2 and 3. And you can see how confusing the options are. So if you eliminate the second statement, correct option will be 1 and 3 only. So the correct option will be your option C. Okay, I hope it is clear now. And one important point to be noted here is, yes, we can expect questions from different, like you have to make a table of martial arts, you have to make a note of musics, you have to make a note of folk dances, okay, and which state, from which state, and even folk paintings also you can match them with the different states. So in this way you have to make some tables that will be helpful for your prelims. Okay, so this is the one more takeaway from this type of question. And next question is question number 9. So now let us see the question. So this question is about, with reference to Buddhist history, tradition and culture in India, consider the following pair. So this is second question again from this Buddhism. So in the last year, that is in 2013, there were 2 questions, and in this 2014 also 2 questions from the Buddhism. So now I think you might understand about importance of Buddhism from your prelims point of view, and it's one of the most favorite area of UPSC. So first one here is, on one side you have list 1 and another side you have list 2, and list 1 contains famous shrines and list 2 contains location, where they are located. So first one is Tabo Monastery and Temple Complex in Spiti Valley. Next one is Lotswa Lakhang Temple in Jaskar Valley. Next one is Alchi Temple Complex in Ladakh. So actually here both this Tabo Monastery and Temple Complex and this Lotswa Lakhang Temple, they are present in this Spiti Valley but not in Jaskar. Okay, so this Lotswa Lakhang Temple is also located in this Spiti Valley. So here the second statement will be wrong. So now let us try to see options. So option 1 is 1 only, option B is 2 and 3 only, and option C is 1 and 3, and next one is 1, 2 and 3. Actually here option B is 1 and 3 only. So here there is some mistake. So let me correct my mistake. So option B is 1 and 3 only. So the second one is absolutely wrong. So you can eliminate the options that are containing this option 2 here. So the correct option will be B, 1 and 3 only. So this is also very important. So from this area also you can expect questions from this Buddhism. So the point to be noted is, so Buddhism is extremely important, and don't leave any area from this Buddhism from your ancient history point of view and even from your art and culture point of view. And now let us try to see next question. It is a question 10. So you can see this question on the screen. So here this question is about Manganiyards. So a community of people called Manganiyards is well known for their. So option A is martial arts in northeastern India. Option B is musical tradition in this northwestern India. Option C is classical vocal music in South India. And option D is Pityadura tradition in central India. So if you see this option D, this Pityadura tradition, which is mainly used in the Muslim, or we can say like Islam architecture. Okay, they will be using different stones or precious stones in the just for the decoration purpose of their architecture. And if you're talking about classical vocal music, we have Carnatic music in the South India, so we can eliminate this option C. And actually here this community of this people, Manganiyars, they are Muslims. Okay, they are Muslims, so they belongs to this northwestern India, especially seen in this Jodhpur, Jaisalmer regions of Rajasthan, and they belongs to the musical tradition, and this tradition is also hereditary in nature. So correct option here is B, that is a musical tradition in northwest India. And now let us try to see the last question, that is question number 11. So you can see the question on the screen, and the question, it is a very simple question, and UPSC just want to test you whether you know what is the meaning of this Ibadat Khana or not. So this Ibadat Khana that you can see in the glossary of this fine arts book of your NCERT class 11. So I think if you have completed your medieval history especially, there you will come across this topic called as Ibadat Khana, and this topic is important from your medieval art and architecture point of view. Okay, especially it is regarding our Mughal architecture. So the first option here is the mosque for the use of royal family, and second one is Akbar's private prayers chamber, and third one is a hall in which Akbar held discussions with the scholars of various religions, and option D is the room in which the nobles belonging to different religions gathered to discuss religious affairs. So Ibadat Khana, it is a hall. In this hall here Akbar will be holding discussions with the scholars of various religions. Actually this Ibadat Khana was built by Akbar in year 1575. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to remember regarding this Ibadat Khana. So one tip here is, so what are the words or terminology that you can see in art and culture? So try to know the meaning of that. So this is the first one. Try to do some Google search, or else you can also go through this glossary. So if you don't have the time to go for the glossary, so whenever you are reading, whenever you are coming up with this type of terminology, so please try to Google it and try to understand the concept. And this one here is, try to pick up some important topics. Okay, in this video we discussed 11 questions. So out of this, most of the questions they repeated from the dances, they repeated from the Buddhism, and also some folk dances and theatres, etc. So please be focused on this. Okay, so try to make an important list. For example, in the last video I said about IVC, Buddhism, Jainism, and I discussed about cave architecture. So from caves there are 2 questions, and paintings, and even philosophy. So in this video also we discussed questions regarding philosophy, we discussed questions from temple architecture, we discussed questions from this medieval architecture, that is from the Mughal period, that is regarding this Ibadat Khana, and next one is from philosophy. So these are some important areas that you have to focus, and don't leave these areas. Okay, so this is about this video, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this video will be helpful for at least some of the aspirants who are beginners. Okay, and this will be helpful to identify your areas where you are strong and where you are weak, and try to make a notes of these important topics that I am saying at the last. So by this I am concluding. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Thank you so much and have a nice day.